Welcome back, NFTV family. It's your host 44K. The K stand for Kincaid. Man, I really appreciate y'all tapping in with me, checking in with me, liking, subscribing to my channel, getting down in those comments, leaving comments. I really appreciate that. Turn on that notification bell so that you know any new content I'm dropping on a daily basis. Keeping this channel fresh, keeping this channel up to date, giving you guys facts, giving you guys information, and just letting you guys form your own informed opinion about things. Everybody has an opinion, just like everybody got assholes, but I want you guys to have informed opinions. You know, we a little bit more bougie than everybody else around here. We gonna have informed opinions based on facts. So I thank you guys again for that. Liking, subscribing, sharing the video, turning on that notification bell, getting down in them comments, yo. It's about activeness. You know, we gotta be active in building this community. But that's enough of that. Let's talk about what I got up on this screen here. Let me touch on a little topic. This silent killer that's going around. You know, a lot of people like to put identities on different type of drug epidemics. You know, we had the crack epidemic in the late mid 80s, late 80s, early 90s. We had the opioid epidemic in the suburbs with the suburban moms and the kids stealing their mom's prescription drugs and things like that. We had the oxycontin in Appalachian area, people overdosing on painkillers, prescribed for painkillers, things like that. We had the lean down in the South, all these things attached to white, black, heroin with the Mexicans, different things like that. And that gets a lot of play. You know, when you can attach it to different groupings, it plays well for TV. Like, oh, look at the black people in the crack. Oh, look at the white moms and the white kids with the opioids, stealing medication. Oh, look at the Mexicans with the black tar and the heroin and everything like this. That's going to get clicks and that's going to get all that. But it's a drug out here that's surpassing all of that. That's killing people across the board. That's not discriminating between color, region, or anything like that. But nobody seems to be talking about it. And I honestly, I don't understand it. You have a couple politicians that want to speak on it, but they're mainly, leveraging that for the border crisis, immigration things. But it goes deeper than that. This is something where it shouldn't be. It should be a bipartisan effort by Democrats and Republicans, whoever's on the Hill, coming together to stop this at the border, stop this from coming across the sea into America, because it's taking people out at a high rate. Back in the day, you had people smoking a little weed, getting high that way, party girls doing lines of coke, ravers doing pills and all this type of stuff. But now even those recreational drugs are being laced with fentanyl, causing people who don't even mess with the drug to die of fentanyl poisoning. So people are dying, our youth are dying at such a high rate, but no one seems to be talking about it to the level that we had back in the mid to late 90s, when they were saying dare to say no, or this is your brain on drugs, or all the movies that came out about dope stick and everything. Nobody's talking about this fentanyl to that level. It seems to be at the back of the internet, at the back of people's consciousness, but people are dying from it every day. So I just want to use my platform to bring attention to it. But let's check out this video and see what they have to say.
More than 100,000 Americans died of drug overdoses in a single year, and driving the epidemic is fentanyl.
This would be how much cocaine somebody would have to ingest to kill them. This is the approximate number of prescription pills. This is the amount of heroin. Fentanyl, you're going to have to bring that camera up here real close to see it. This much fentanyl would kill you.
Look at that. Look at that. That's a booger. That's a booger of fentanyl. Could take out two people if that much fentanyl got into your system, and this is not something you deal with on an everyday basis. Like, what is China really putting together over there? Like, you know what I'm saying? if the intel is true and COVID came from Wuhan, China, and then now you have over in China they're manufacturing this right here and it's coming over to America, what's really going on here? Because you just saw the comparisons to the other drugs, that much cocaine, that much prescription drugs, but then this, a piece of dandruff look like could take out two people in a room. That's insane.
An eye, if we split it.
Fentanyl does not discriminate. Steve is a retired police officer, his daughter Jessica, a victim. It's taken the lives of actor Michael K. Williams, rapper Mac Miller, Angels pitcher Tyler Skaggs, and children across the country.
This is my son, Alexander. He died at 14 years old from fentanyl poisoning.
Including a 13-year-old who died of a fentanyl overdose in school. Dealers are no longer lurking on street corners. They're on e-commerce sites and social media apps targeting.
Okay, so in the past with the crack epidemic, they were giving out football numbers. It was people that were getting less time for committing murder, attempted murder, manslaughter, all different type of stuff were getting less time than people that were associated with crack. When you seen crackheads was hustling, cleaning up the streets, gathering cans, super annoying, begging for change outside. You see heroin addicts, they falling asleep on a corner, nodding off, everything like that. You see cocaine people at the club at night in the city, all extra energetic and everything like this. This drug right here just dropping people dead. Like, and it's nowhere near the noise being made that of the drugs I just named being made about this. That's scary. That makes you think, like, what's going on? Like, what's happening to where people are just numb to the fact that people are dropping dead from this drug? Like, that's something to think about.
Our children in their bedroom. This synthetic opioid is primarily manufactured in foreign labs, smuggled into the U.S., and often mixed with other street drugs.
2,500 people would be killed by that amount of fentanyl. Does that sound like a drug to you? Does that sound more like a poison?
It's in heroin, cocaine, methamphetamine, and marijuana. Criminal drug network.
So, you telling me you got these greedy ass drug dealers sprinkling fentanyl over weed? Like, what type of demon would want to put fentanyl on weed? Like, what type of high are you trying to give your clientele to where you put fentanyl on weed? That should have everybody shook. Like, nah, bro, I'm too high. Like, what's going on here? Like, did he just put some fentanyl on my weed? Like, what's really good? Like, if you going to roll a joint or something like that, next thing you know, your lungs shutting down, you collapsing, and all you was trying to do was just roll a joint. Like, this stuff is super, super dangerous.
Networks are also mass producing millions of pills that look exactly like legitimate painkillers and anti-anxiety drugs, but with fentanyl, one pill can kill. In the last 2 years, fentanyl has killed more young Americans than COVID. Fentanyl.
Hold on. So you telling me over the last 2 years, fentanyl has killed more young people than COVID, but yet COVID had us locked in the crib, couldn't come outside, had to wear a mask everywhere we went, shutting down businesses, couldn't travel, had to get booster shots and have COVID vaccine cards. All this type of stuff was put into play for COVID, but something that's killed more young people over the last 2 years is getting nowhere near the attention or uproar associated with it. Everybody was going crazy over COVID to the point where mass hysteria, and this drug has been running rampant for at least the last 5 to 10 years, going crazy so many people dying from it, but we're not getting none of the national attention. Like, where's the national attention if you have actual empirical data, hard data, showing that it's killed more young Americans over the last 2 years? Like, this is crazy.
Teen deaths have reportedly tripled, and it's now the number one cause of death for Americans 18 to 45. So how do we...
So it's the number one cause of death for Americans 18 to 45. So already we have a situation where people aren't having as many kids as they were having in the past. So we don't have as many young people as we had in the past. So you telling me that the young people that we do have, that aren't dying from gun violence, aren't dying from car crashes, aren't dying from cancer, then this comes along and is the number one killer of young people from 18 to 45. And it's not a national push to address the situation of it coming from China. You know, they wanted to be politically correct on this video, but everybody knows it's coming from China. And then also is being took into Mexico and then brought over the border, be it by illegals coming over or Americans going across the border and bringing it back to America. If y'all were giving football numbers for crack, right, where it wasn't an overdose thing with crack, it seemed like crackheads live forever. You know, you see a 70-year-old Pookie running around the hood to this day in all 50 states of America. You know what I'm saying? So if you guys was giving 30 years for crack distribution and throwing people under, giving people 10 to 15 for opioid distribution and things like that, you guys need to be giving out Harry Potter book numbers. I'm talking about 300 years, whatever we got to do to scare people from bringing this into the population, knocking out 18 to 45-year-olds at the highest clip we done ever seen in history. This needs to stop. So that's all I really got to say on that, man. It just was something that was shocking to me. I was, thinking about different topics to talk about. This is something that I've been, listening to on YouTube for a minute now about different fentanyl areas like St. Louis, Philadelphia, all these areas being highly affected by this drug. And it's just something that sat on my chest a little bit, and I felt like I had to talk on it, speak on it. So I appreciate you guys stopping by. Before you guys leave, get down there, hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell so you guys are informed every time new content comes out. Get down in those comments, man. Let me know what you guys think about this topic. Let me know if am I over exaggerating this? Am I missing it? And have I not just been paying attention? Is it a big national push like it was with the war on drugs and crack associated with this? Let me know if I'm missing the boat on this, but get down in those comments and share the video with your friends, your cousins, your colleagues. Let me know what they think about it. But spread the word on this. This is something we all need to come together on. This should be a bipartisan type of thing. This should not be Democrat or Republican. This should be a joint effort to fight the distribution of this, fight this from coming across the border, fight this from coming across the ocean into Mexico and then getting to us in our community. We got to protect each other, y'all. At the end of the day, we all human beings. So thank you for stopping by. My name is 44K. The K stand for King K. God bless. Good night.